What's it going to take for people to see that life's not going back to normal? Do they literally need a family member dragged out of the house kicking and screaming to see that this stuff's not going back to normal? Right? Do they need to have their fucking wife grabbed by the hair and dragged out of the fucking house kicking and screaming? And when the husband goes up to him, they beat four shades of shit out of him for his own safety to finally the pennies dropped that we are being fucking taken over as we speak. Right this second. You can't even organise a protest. Do you hear how fucked up that is? You can't even organise a protest. We are in a state of disaster. Which means it's like there's been a fucking bomb dropped in the middle of the city or something. That's what it's like. It's like we are in a disaster zone. Right? That means the rules that are implemented, that they're allowed to implement, right? Those rules are set up so they can do whatever they want now. If they want to come and kick in the door, because we're in a state of disaster, they can, to evacuate you out of the disaster area. To evacuate you out of the disaster area. If they want to come and arrest people, they can. This new virus that's emerging in China that causes all of these symptoms, right? And it causes a low white blood cell count. Do you know what else causes a low white blood cell count? Radiation. Every single time one of these symptoms comes up for these new fucking viruses they talk about, it all goes back to something to do with radiation. How many coincidences do you need to see that these guys are hiding something? So when they go in and taking people to hospital, your very loved ones that you're saying that I don't give a fuck about, the ones that don't give a fuck about them are the very government that is taking these people to hospital and treating them for something that they don't even know exists properly, and they're going off the orders of the World Health Organization, which is 15% funded by the second richest man in the world who stands to profit billions by putting a vaccine in everybody. That's not a conflict of interest, right? And people would say, oh, well, what does the government have to profit from this? Why would they give away $300 billion? Because they're trying to bankrupt the economy, you fucking idiots. They're trying to put us in debt so then they can take over our economy. So then when we owe money to the mafia bosses or the mafia, who we can call the fucking Reserve Bank, we are going to owe them billions. Billions of dollars. So why would they do that? Because they don't give a fuck about you. They're just puppets. They're destroying your economy on purpose. They're shutting down your businesses on purpose. Because once the dust is settled, the only businesses that are going to be open are all the big companies that can afford to be shut for this long. Every single mum and dad business, every family business that was out there, they need cash flow to survive. After 6 months, all of those businesses are finished. And you ask yourself, why? Why? And people say, oh, why would you give money? Why would they just give money out to people? Because if they weren't giving money out to people and all these people weren't comfortable right now, it's a lot easier to speak up when they don't have money and they don't have food in the fridge and the government's feeding them bullshit. People usually stay a lot quieter when you don't have to worry about eating and feeding your family. If they stop those payments, the fucking population would lose their mind. So to any of you people out there going, oh, then why would they double the payments? To keep everyone fucking quiet and keep them from causing issues. Right? It's common sense. They want to bankrupt the economy. People could argue, well, this virus is dangerous. No, it's not. It's not dangerous. You got 26 million people. Not even 250 people have died. I don't care. I don't care what you say. Say you locked yourself in your home. I don't care. You didn't. You're full of shit. You went shopping, right? You went to the servo. True? People are still interacting. There's still trucks driving interstate. Yeah? Cops are all over each other. 6 of them at a time arresting one guy. What, none of those That thing didn't spread like wildfire and just infect the whole force by now? No? So you're saying it's contagious, but it's not. You test 4.6 million people. You went door knocking 4.6 million people, and you were lucky to find 0.4% that were infected. And of those 0.4%, it might have been an 80% positive rate and a 20% false positive rate. So is it really 0.4%, or is it under 0.4%? Or do they just, work with the margin of error when it suits them, when they're trying to send out things from the Department of Human Services or the health services to tell you that the test is non-conclusive and it can't be 100% accurate? So it can't be 100% accurate, but we're going to listen to your 0.4%. So your margin of error is only there when it suits you, right? But not for when you're trying to fearmonger everybody. You could argue it's deadly. I'd say, no, it's not. You got 25 million people in the country. 250 have died. I don't care what you say, that is not deadly. It's not deadly. You could argue, well, we did everything right. How many people died up until week 12? Absolutely sweet fuck all. Right? So don't tell me that this thing's highly contagious, because it's not, because the test results show it wasn't. And I had this moron in my inbox. He turned around and said, 0.4% isn't a lot with the test, but if you go across the population, 0.4% would be, it doesn't fucking matter. The death rate matters. You could have 3 million infections, right? But if your death rate remains below 1%, that is not deadlier than the flu. It's not deadlier than the flu. So I'm sorry, your argument bears no weight, right? And any doctor who's watching this and actually knows what's going on, it's time to speak up, because you guys are part of the problem right now. Because if someone like me could put together the dots that this could possibly have to do with people suffering from some type of radiation sickness, and I highly believe that this is a very, very astute possibility, surely there must be physicians out there that have connected the dots. Surely. This is what I've got to say to all these people out there that are still on the fence, right? You don't want to get this wrong. Because if you're wrong, they're killing your family in hospital. And you want to know why else people are dying in nursing homes? Because some people, their will to survive and live is from human connection. If you are 78, 80 years old, you're on your deathbed, and now you can't even see your granddaughter or your son, right? And you're stuck in a nursing home, and the nurses aren't even coming near you because of these new COVID rules that if you start coughing, they leave you in the room to fucking fend for yourself. You don't know what's going on in nursing homes at the moment, right? And all of the stress that's associated with living in that place at the moment. Plus, God knows how many times they're going and sticking tests down their nose. Think about just the test. If you wanted to create exosomes in the body from stress, sticking a fucking earbud halfway down someone's nose to hit tap the back of their brain would definitely stress out the body enough to give you a positive result on a COVID test. So this is what I've got to say, mate. I'm sick of the bullshit. I'm sick of everyone making excuses. Stop making excuses for your government. Stop making excuses for your government and think about your family. Because these people are lying beyond belief. Do you understand? They are lying beyond belief. Our lives are never going back to normal. Our lives are never going back to normal. When you see an invitation, you make sure you're there. That's all I'm saying. Not saying for what. When you see the invitation, and you'll know, make sure you attend. Right? Anyway, I'm done. Share it. I am going to finish with this. This is who I used to work for. That's who I used to work for. You see that? Anyone out there who thinks that I'm just some conspiracy theorist whack job, understand that up until March, I never used to speak about this stuff, right? I'd maybe speak to some friends and always knew that this was coming, but I didn't have websites and was speaking out on social media about it, right? But then I saw what was happening and I told myself that, mate, someone needs to say something. So I did. Within 30 days of me speaking up, I lost my job for smashing a TV on the ground. I was suspended pending an investigation for smashing my TV on the ground for doing a peaceful protest in my home. I lost my security license for attending 2 peaceful protests and having that Facebook group. And I was told I was not a fit and proper person to hold a security license. I trained over 850 guards successfully in the industry. I was the person you would send students to when no one else could train them. I would have people come to do law tests who'd never passed a test in their life. And they would pass. And they would do it through themselves because I made people believe they could. So if you think that I'm just some whack job and that I live in my mother's basement or whatever, I'm not. I'm a man of integrity. And I believe when when a government doesn't live within integrity towards its people, that government no longer should be able to tell those people what to do. Because the government is elected by the people for the people. It's time to take back what's ours. It's time to educate yourself and start waking up the people around you. Start waking them up. Much love. See you later.